Welcome to the 3-day challenge, Simple SEO Success. So today I wanted to talk about the first piece of the keyword puzzle. Tomorrow we're going to talk about how and where to use the keywords that we're going to find out about today. And then day 3 is going to be all about search engines, how they work, and how to get your keywords and your stuff that you create up and ranked on the search engine. So those are the 3 different pieces. And I'm just going to go ahead and share my screen and jump right in. Okay, so today I just want to briefly understand what keywords are, where to find them, and I'm going to show you some tools. So let's just jump right in. So keywords are broken into 3 categories. The first one is what everybody thinks, and that is what you think about your business. What keywords do you think? So when somebody created your website, whether that was you or a website designer or your neighbor's son or whoever it might have been, they probably asked you for a list of keywords. And this is how we think about our business. And, like for me, website design would be the top of the list. But there's a lot of other keywords that are very useful that are what people actually use, what they actually say or type into a search engine. And so that's really what we're going to explore today because we know what we think our keywords are supposed to be. Now let's figure out what people are actually using to find us. So here we go with what we think. And this, again, comes from you just thinking logically about your business. For me, when I first started like 20 years ago, it was website design, web development, web designer, SEO, and search engine optimization. And then as my business grew, I added some different pieces there. And so then I added in web hosting, some different stuff about web hosting, Google ranking, all that kind of stuff. So again, these are just what I think. And I know in your business, you have a list of what you think. So now what we really want to know is what are people actually using? Like, what do they think? How do they think and what are they typing in? And that's what we want to build our content around. And so you want to know how on earth do we figure that out? Well, the first thing I ever started doing before I realized there was tools out there is whenever a client, potential client, future client, whatever you want to call them, called me, I asked how they found me, and I actually wrote down the phrase. And generally speaking, at least in my business, people would be searching for a website designer or however they worded it. And then they call me right away. And if I answer, which I usually do, it's all fresh in their mind. And a lot of times they could actually tell me the exact thing that they typed into a search engine to find me. And I actually wrote that down and I have a list of those. So that's how I got started with what people are actually using. Now there's some tools. If you have a Google business profile, they have a performance tab, and I'm going to show this to you in just a minute. That it will tell you what people typed in when your profile showed up. So that's a free way to find out what they're typing into Google. There's also Google Trends, which I'm going to demonstrate that to you today. And there's 2 different ones by Neil Patel, who's a kind of a big name in SEO, Answer the Public and Ubersuggest. Those are all free tools. Okay, now you could actually pay for a tool. SEMrush is good. Moz is also a big one. But the reality is, search engine optimization companies pay for those tools. It's not ROI driven, if you want to call it that, for a solopreneur to buy that tool and just use it on their business. That's not really what the tool's meant for. And in my opinion, it's way too expensive to do that. I don't even buy it for my own business. So here's some using these tools, words that I had found that other people are using to find me. And one of the most recent ones that popped up was this website builder. I mean, in logically thinking, to me, a website builder is like WordPress or Wix or Squarespace, something like that, a software that you're going to build a website on. However, apparently, a lot of people think that a website builder is a person that builds websites. That would have never occurred to me in a million years. Except I asked somebody and they told me that. And then ironically, like a week later, somebody else called and I asked them and they told me the same thing. I'm like, okay, so this must be a thing. So that got added to my list of keywords that I will be creating content around, even though it's technically not what I do, because I'm not Wix, I'm not Squarespace, I'm not WordPress. But because people use it in a different way and they're thinking about a website builder as a person, not a piece of software, then it makes sense that if that's what people type in, I need to make content around that. And that's what this today is all about, is figuring out what people are actually putting into a search engine to find you. So the first one is Google Trends. I absolutely love this tool. What it does is it uses the database of everybody that pays for Google Ads. So if you're running Google Ads on a certain keyword, your information is in this database, the keyword information anyway. So that's where this information is pulled from. And then this tool will basically compare one word to another, and it's going to tell you which word has more search volume than whatever you type in. And a very good demonstration of this is people, when they're coming to me for a website, they're like, I want a testimonial page. I'm like, no, you really don't. You want a review page. And they'll argue with me because a review is what somebody leaves in Google. A testimonial is a happy client raving about you because you're a service, not a product. And in their mind, that's what they're thinking. But watch this. If I put in review, we're just doing the search term, and you want to set this. I usually set it for the past 12 months. And if you're in another country, you can change that here. Now, I'm going to compare that to the word testimonial. Which one do you want on your website based on this graph? It's going to be the word review. So even though you're a service-based business, not a product, you are better off having a review page because that's what people search for. They don't search for testimonials. This can be used for anything. I totally love this service when a customer comes to me and they're like, well, I don't know if I'm a commercial real estate person, a commercial realtor, just a realtor. You know, you put all the terms in here and you want to know. So does someone want to open up and give me what they think their main keyword is? Sandy, I saw your hand first.
Oh, African safaris.
African safari. And then what would you think the next, like if you're debating on if you want to use African safari or what would the other one be?
I would think just safaris, but that can explode into a lot of things. I would think I'm based in Tanzania.
So Tanzania safari.
Yeah.
And I believe we can put 5 of these words in here.
Serengeti.
And what's one more?
Let's maybe Masai Mara. It's 2 words, but that's
Oh,
okay.
like MASI and then space?
Yeah. Yeah. Mara. It should be 2 S's, but that's okay.
It's actually not okay
Oh,
because the
okay.
data that Google is pulling it from, it needs to be spelled correctly. So of those words, then just the general word safari would be the best. Now, if we want to put on here, and I don't know if that's ever added, African Safari Tour, didn't matter. So basically how this tool is used is you put in what the words you're considering using, and then you just compare them and you come out with the best one. So in this instance, it would be Safari. And then you can come back in here and change any one of these that you want, and it's going to change the graph depending on the search volume of that keyword. So that's how this is used. Linda, I saw your hand up.
I was just gonna say hypnosis for me or self-help.
We can try these. So let's delete these out. Actually, we have to change them. We'll just do this. You would think if you X'd it out and deleted it, it'd go away, but it doesn't. Hypnosis, did I spell that right?
Yes,
And you said self-help, is that what you said?
right.
Okay, so hypnosis is a little better than that, than self-help. What would another one be, Linda?
Well, I specialize in weight loss.
Weight loss wins so far, but
Okay,
that's just a piece of your business.
right.
So for the weight loss piece, then that's a good key term or keyword. But if you have another piece, like selling your book, then that could be a whole different set. So a business isn't going to have just one set. Like in the slideshow I was showing you, in the beginning, I had 5 or 6 that I thought were my main keywords. And then when I added products over the years, then that keyword list expanded. So as our businesses evolve, we're going to want to keep evolving with this. So this is how this is used. It's a
Interesting.
fabulous tool and it's free.
Before
We're going
we
into,
segue, can I raise a question?
yes, Carol.
If you do a couple of things in your business,
Yes,
then is that meaningless information? Because, like I do assessments, which is very different because it's an employment-based product
correct.
for helping people hire the right people, as opposed to my ADD, ADHD work.
Correct. So
Oh,
you have different sets of keywords. Like my keywords for premium websites is completely different than my keywords for Ask Dottie because they're two different markets. You
okay.
have small business owners, solopreneurs looking for website design and someone to build it versus a DIY market of people that want to learn how to do things themselves. So it's okay to have different sets of keywords that you're going to create content around.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. So now what we're looking at is my Google Business Profile. So when you're in your Google Business Profile, and if you don't have one, I highly encourage that you get one because this is your access point into Google Maps, and you can hide your address. You can say you're a service area business, so your home address doesn't have to be there. And the Maps search results, if someone is searching on a phone, comes up first. And a lot of times, even on desktop, that will come up first, and then your organic listings comes below that. So it is great to have a presence here. But for today's point, we have a performance tab right here. And when you click that, this is going to tell you, you can kind of mess with the date up here. I believe it goes back 6 months. It's going to tell you what people have typed in when your profile showed up. So down here, I've got 65 terms that have been listed, and I just click see more and you'll see them all. So premium, I'm guessing this is somebody who remembered the name of my business started with the word premium. Who know? Apparently 46 people. Doesn't necessarily mean they were looking for me though, because it could be a lot of different things. Web Design Vancouver, that's a great term. I don't know who this Annie is, but apparently someone was looking for her and my profile showed up. That's awesome. Best web builders. Here's that web builders thing again. So this tells me, yeah, I really need to be creating content around web builders. Some of these
When
won't
you
make
say
sense.
content, what do you mean? Building content?
It could be blog posts, it could be social media posts, anything that gets indexed in Google is content. Even
Okay.
videos can be listed as content. Okay, I don't do e-commerce, but people search for e-commerce. So I've got some e-commerce information on my website, and I put it up in a way that doesn't indicate I do e-commerce, so I'm not lying to them. But you can put things up on your site that even if you don't do the service, you can still talk about it to educate people around whatever the information is that they need. So this is another place where you can get a good indication of what somebody actually typed in when your profile showed up. So start making a list of relevant keywords off of here. Like I said, not all of these, like sushi 98683. Nothing I want to have anything to do with my business whatsoever. But remember, this is maps. So there's probably a sushi restaurant close to me somewhere, which I know there is. But anyway, so not all of them will be relevant, but a lot of them will be relevant. Another tool that is free is Answer the Public. You can register for this if you want. It'll save your searches if you do that. Otherwise, you don't have to register. You can use it. And you get 3 free searches per day. So I just went ahead and earlier today put in website builder because I was curious. I'm like, okay, am I the only one that thinks that that's software and not a person? And so what this gives you is a graphical look at the different words that are associated with the keyword you type in. So I can see what website builder was used. That's software. A lot of these are indicating that it's software. So when I create my content around website builder, I'm actually going to be creating it around software. But for those people that are looking for a person that builds websites, I'm still going to show up. So that's the trick, is you want to know what people are typing in so that you can create the content that will show up when somebody is typing that in. That's the key. So I'm going to go ahead and do another one. I'll do Linda's hypnosis. Just going to click search, and it's going to take it a minute. It goes through whatever it goes through, and came out with, you have 108 questions. I only had, I don't know, 50 or so, I think was on mine. So here we got, what are hypnosis, or are hypnosis shows real? Okay, so this is talking about TV. Different ones. Are hypnosis and meditation related? That might be a great blog topic that you can write about. Can hypnosis help anxiety? I bet it can. So this gives you ideas of what people are typing in and ideas of things that you can write about that is going to use that keyword for you to show up.
Or use it in a sales funnel, sales copy.
Oh yeah, sales copy, email funnels, emails that go out, web page content, not just blog pages, all of this kind of stuff. Anything on the internet, really. Can hypnosis help with insomnia, tinnitus, weight loss? Here's your weight loss thing,
Yeah.
Linda. So there's 108 here. And then if we roll down to the next one, this one is using, so hypnosis can be used to fill in the blank. There's hypnosis for sleep, hypnosis for guys, hypnosis for smoking, all of these different ones in here. And we keep rolling down. And here we've got 54 comparisons. Hypnosis and Christianity, hypnosis and tinnitus. So you've got.
But I am a Christian hypnotist.
There you go.
Both my mentors were Methodist ministers.
And these are words that people have searched. It's basically giving you a plan right here. Here it is, alphabetical if you want it. So that's this tool. It's free. It's called Answer the Public. And you don't even have to set up an account. You can just use it. You get 3 searches a day. The last one that I mentioned on that was Ubersuggest. Answer the Public and Ubersuggest are both done by Neil Patel, and they're kind of put together. If you get a free account with Ubersuggest, and yes, they have paid plans as well, but the free account really gives you a lot. Okay, so if we come down here, it gives you search volume for that word. It gives you, here's a bunch of the same suggestions, the questions, the prepositions, the comparisons, and you can view them all. It's giving it to you as a list instead of a pretty graphic. Here's some content ideas. And again, this is free. A lot of these options over here, you can explore them. It gives you a lot of insight into those keywords. So we are coming up on our half an hour. I know that was a big dump. What your homework is today is to go out and create a list for your business of keywords that people are using to potentially find you. And this list is just for you, okay? And we're going to use it tomorrow to create a little bit of content. We're going to go over how to do that. Yes, Laura.
Thank you, Dottie. What I want to know is, I can see what the search is for the terms. I understand that. But how do I see exactly the people coming to my website, their search terms?
So that you have to have a system like Google Analytics connected to your website, and then
Okay.
it will tell you exactly what people typed in. Kind
I
of
have
like
that,
the,
but I don't know how to find those. Find that.
do you have it connected?
I think so.
Okay, then you would go to Google Analytics. Just Google the term Google Analytics,
I have it.
click
Okay.
into it, log in, and
I'm
it
open.
should display right there for you. It's
Okay.
a much more complicated tool than the ones I'm showing here. And Laura, if you want to set up a separate time where we could just meet on Zoom, I can walk you through it. Now, the email that you should have all gotten today, the reminder, yesterday I added in a link to a video that explains how to get into the community if you haven't made it into the community yet. That is where the replay of this day and all the other days will be. And if you have questions, there is a section set up in there for you to ask questions, and then I will answer them in more of a forum kind of a thing in there. Just trying to be cognizant of everybody's time. And then Friday, that session is a bonus session, and it is only questions and answers. So if you have questions, I'll be here, and on that day, we can answer anything. And I've actually scheduled in an hour and a half on Friday. So if it goes over a half an hour, I'm good with it if you're good with it. So that's where we are. And thank you all. We are right at the top of the hour. Yay, I made it.
That was great. A great start. Thank you so much.
Yes.
You're
Thank
welcome.
you.
And I'll see you all tomorrow, and good luck on creating your lists. Bye-bye.